This video is proudly sponsored by DigimonCard.io for all your Digimon card, deck building, deck list, card pricing, and discussion needs. Hey everyone, Egman here with another video, and today we're going to talk about my yellow WarGrey rookie spam deck. I don't really know if that's the right name for it, but it's what I've been calling it, and it's kind of what it sounds like. It's more or less a yellow WarGrey deck. We kind of already know what those look like nowadays, but it's more leaning towards just spamming a lot of rookies to get like a bunch of card advantage and making it hard for our opponent to kind of answer the board states that we really make. Once this really gets going and you just have like a board of like, no joke, like 6 or 7 cards, unless your opponent has like a Magnadrumon, which isn't seeing a lot of play right now, you're just kind of really in a good spot. So let's go into the list itself. So first we've got our eggs. We're running 4 Upamon and 1 Koromon. If you like Koromon more, you can definitely run Koromon. There are definitely times where I'm like, oh, I wish this is a Koromon. And you get like a good amount of card draw with this deck inherently as well. So either's up to you. I like Upamon just a little bit more. Just the card draw is more important. You don't have a lot of DP reduction to make it worth it. But if you like this more, I think it can definitely be 4-1 split in that way. Maybe something like a 3-2, up to you. But I think both these eggs are super good at what they do, and they are worth doing it. But you already know that if you know we're playing a yellow deck. Next up for rookies, this is probably the most important one, unfortunately, for people's wallets. But for Pulsemon, this guy is super duper good, especially since he has an on-play effect, and we have just a bunch of ways to play him for free. He's just amazing. He's just great at what he does, and especially if you're able to get him at 3, then you get a draw card and gain the memory. And the fact that like he gets the memory when you're 3 or less, which is where you're wanting to be most of the time, that the memory gain is more important anyways. It's just what makes him amazing. We already know this card's good. And then also we're running 4 Bushy Agamons. That might sound a lot, but I definitely say that you have to run all 4 for kind of the play style you want. The idea for this deck for sure is just to be able to play these guys for free and then swing in for free damage as well. And it's really easy to do, and it's very powerful. Sometimes, you wish you had even more. So I mean, even though like he's a 5 cost, you just have a lot of plays anyways, and going up your egg chain is never the worst thing. So I think he's fine. The fact that he's like a Digivolve for 0 is just as crazy for what he does anyways. You don't really have any negative things for running him. So next rookie, we have Lotmon. Lotmon can be really helpful at getting card advantage, but also sometimes you need to put yourself to 3. And being able to use Lotmon is super amazing at doing that. So I really, really do like Lotmon for the deck. Being able to draw a card as well is super good, and just can be super solid. Especially like in the mirror, because sometimes like the other yellow WarGrey player won't want to get you down to, you have to kind of see who makes the first move. And unless you get yourself down to at least 4 before the WarGreymon swings, you're going to have kind of a tough time with that. So that's kind of how I like this to help you self-awaken, or self-take security. Self-awaken is what we call in Dragon Ball Super. We also run 3 Salmon. It's a good rookie, and then it can help if we're being a little bit aggressive with our security destruction on ourselves. Being able to just get that for free is really good. And then also talking about that, we also run 2 Patamons. I think a lot of people thought Lucemon was better, and we are running one of this as well. A lot of people are saying that Patamon's just a budget version of Lucemon, but we really don't care about having big DP rookies. I mean, sure, he lives longer, and he's great. He's better in security, obviously, but I think Patamon is just more versatile in a lot of ways. Being able to do it, it's really easy to put ourselves to 1-2, so you can just play Patamon. And since it's a free play rookie, I think it just makes sense to have it. And there we go. And you notice that we're running 16 rookies plus 17 with Lucemon. So we're playing a high count of rookies, which I really like running. I feel like it just makes the deck very, very consistent at having opening plays and being able to do stuff. So I really do. I think that's really good. And then 2 of our rookies are you can hard play them, and you get card draw when you do it too. So it just feels good. I like this setup. I'd almost run 18 rookies, but I'm not that crazy. But I definitely have a lot of rookies, because the other thing you'll see is that you'll have so many ways to free play them from your hand that you just need as many as you can in your hand, and you'll miss your procs if you don't have any. So it's okay to get a little rookie flooded in my mind, based on how the deck works. Going to our champions, we are running 4 Beetlemons because he's great. We already know that. We're running 3 Terrariumon for pretty much the same reason, both of them being 1 Evo cost is really, really good. We're also running 3 Gatomons, and this is strictly the... we're running Massimo on this list. Spoilers, all right? We made it this far into the video. But being able to just hard cast it for 6 to get recovery 1 is really great. And it's a 5k body, and then if you have Mastamon out, it has blocker too. It's just, I feel like it's just something that's good for the deck. It's kind of versatile, and without having to like give up on what you're doing. If you like Terrariumon more, you can just run 4 Terrari, 2 Gatomons if you want. But just being able to have that recovery, if you need it, can be really good to have a body out and free play. And we're also running 2 of the Mikumon, I believe is how you pronounce it. So this is just an on-play champion. If you have 3 or fewer security cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4k DP for the turn. I just found like sometimes that we just needed to play something to interact with our opponent's board, and this guy was it most of the time. So he was really handy. You could even run 3 of him and only 2 Gatomons as well, but this put in a lot of work in a lot of ways. Being able to just pop like one of your opponent's rookies really easily, or if you're able to use, in conjunction with any other DP reduction, he just works out really good, and your opponent's really not considering, you're not expecting this card as much, so he just puts in a lot of work. Okay, next up, we've got 4 Andromon. This card's busted, especially for this deck. So it has when Digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gains security attack -2 till the end of your opponent's next turn, which just is great. It's almost better than recovering in this deck because it just means they can't swing. Obviously if they swing in with something, it means that you can be at 3 security but still have some safety, right? Because you want to be able to have a low amount of security so you can get all your effects off, but you want to be able to survive your next turn. So if there's 2 ways to do it, or a couple ways to do it. Either recover, pop your opponent's dudes, or give them security attack -2 like Andromon does, and it works really good. Just means they don't want to swing with the card. Then also has a really great inheritable. When attacking with 3 or fewer security cards, you may play 1 yellow level 3 Digimon card from your hand without paying its memory cost. What a good effect. It's not once per turn. It definitely should be, but being able to play rookies for free is amazing, especially with how good the yellow rookies are. So this is pretty much one of the most important cards in the deck for me. We also run 3 WarGreymon. WarGreymon can be great at just popping small dudes, getting some advantage. It gets a little boost with the inheritable as well. And being able to, once again, we're playing Massimo on this list. I spoiled it, right? So even like on your first chain of cards, if you want to go this into Mastamon, there's a good chance you won't have any rookies or champions in your drop area to be able to play. So being able to use its Digiburst just to put them into your drop area, and then after that, just playing for free with Mastamon feels really good. We also have Andromon. Just this one, it's just the one of, but we have 3 fewer security card, recover 1, which is good. It's a 6 cost, so it's okay. Like, it's not terrible to just hard cast this if like you got nothing better to do. It's a one of. If you like it. If you don't, it's okay. But there's that. We got 8 champions, which is usually pretty good. Usually don't have any issues. And then going to our mega lineup, we have 3 WarGreymon. WarGreymon is amazing. You guys all know that. Being able to swing, it can swing twice, which means when it's with Andromon, it's really good. Also with the timing and how it works, you're able to, if you have Andromon underneath it, you have 4 security, you're able to swing, proc the effect of WarGreymon first, and then you're able to restand, take the life, and then it checks your security with Andromon. As long as you order it that way, so if you're at 4 swing, you can still get Andromon, and you can swing again, and you get to play another rookie. So 2 rookies for free are amazing, especially when your rookies are, recovering you 1, or they are letting you, draw 1, or they're letting you swing for free after that, or they're letting you gain a memory and everything. So it's just great. They're just really good at what they're doing. and this puts pressure. And this gives minus 6k to something, so that can pop something. And if this instead has like WarGreymon underneath it, then you can give something minus 10k for the turn. It's all very good. We know this, but here we go. I'm going to put this to the side for later. We'll talk about it. All right. Next up, we also have Magnadrumon. So this is probably more of a weird choice, but he puts in a lot of work too. So he's more known for his on play, where if you just have 3 or fewer security cards, recover +2, which can be really helpful, like in an end game scenario, hard casting it, and then your opponent has 2 more security to go around. But also when attacking, you may play 1 level 3 Digimon card from your hand without paying its memory cost. It has to be yellow. So that's really good, especially in this deck. So you can, like, if you have this and this, you play 2 rookies for free. And then also a fun little interaction, if you guys didn't know this. Part of the reason we run Lotmon, not like the main reason, but a cute little thing. So let's see if you have 4 security again. If you swing with Magnadrumon, you can proc its effect first to play Lotmon, and then Lotmon would use its effect to take the security to get you down to 3, and then you can trigger Andromon. So like just being able to get yourself down to 3 is really important in this, and if your opponent doesn't self-awaken you, you need to be able to have ways to self-awaken yourself. So Lotmon's really good at that. And once again, Magnadrumon to play it for free, and then you can proc Andromon's effect and go from there. And then if you have a Upamon underneath there, you can use Upamon's effect. It's all very good, very, very synergistic, and can be very powerful when the chain is right. And then lastly, we've got Spoil, but Mastamon is amazing too. Being able to just play a card for free, crit one of your opponent's security is great as well. And something that's really good too, as long as you have 4 or less memory. Being able to be a 4 cost play is kind of expensive. 3 cost is kind of like the where you want to be most of the time, just because you can make it still your turn. But if you have 4 or less life, you crit the life and you play Pulsemon for free, then Pulsemon can gain a memory, and then it can stay your turn, assuming that you have your TK Tamer out, which isn't terrible, but which is moderately assumed, I guess. You want to set this guy up as soon as you can, but being able to just make it so that Mastamon is a turn, a 3 memory play, just helps the deck out so much, and it can be really crazy. What else we got? And then so we got 3 TKs. TK is like one of the best cards in the game as well. It's one of the best 4 tamers. Being able to go back to 3 memory, but you gotta look at your security not only for seeing, but essentially this is like more or less a look at the top. Like if you play it early, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, and then add 1 card from it. And so if you're missing a piece from your chain, there's a moderately good chance that you can find it in your security instead. So you can just pick it up, add it to your hand, and then you're fine, right? You can go up your chain. You can be really good at it. You can also find if you have a Blinding Ray in there, which we already know this card's busted too. This card's super duper busted, especially in this deck. Being able to set yourself to 3 life and extend your plays is super duper good, and can just help you win the game. And just proc all your effects, right? Like if you can just say, use Blinding Ray to get down to 3, and then your Andromon is now active to do its stuff. And then you still have more memory to do more plays, and you're free playing rookies on top of that, which some of them even draw cards. It just recurs a lot of value. I think this card's busted, and honestly I think this needs to be like a one of like hidden potential discovered, but that's for another video. And that's pretty much the list. So we don't run any Chaosmons, not because we don't own them, because we do, but I just don't feel like it's super necessary or kind of the point of the deck. This is more of a mid-range, and I know Chaosmon is good. I know it can pop a board, but this is more about just going super wide. And so even if they play Chaosmon, they can either like pop my WarGreymon, or they can pop like 2 of my rookies, but they can't just clear the board, right? And I can just put a lot of pressure on my opponent. And that's kind of just the idea of it, and I think it works out really well. And it's just really consistent most of the time too. Being able to run as many rookies as we do means that we have normally some early plays more consistently, and it just helps out the deck a whole bunch a lot. But that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys like this video. I hope this was a different enough WarGreymon deck list for you guys to be invested in. I know there's just a lot of them running around. I know everyone's kind of interested in it. And if you're like me, you're a little bit over WarGreymon in some regards, but I think it's very, very good. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.